Horse Derby Day. National Horse Month in Lynchburg. We're getting there. So here's the Confab rebroadcast schedule, 971. You can look it up on your app, also on TV, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. In honor of August 26th being Pony Express Day, or Horsey Day. I was close. Very close.
These are all ponies of Virginia.
Shannon will explain later the difference between a pony and a horse. Right? All right. Settle in for these. We got two, Nancy and Alex. I'll start with Nancy. It's a story here. I'm writing to express my sincere appreciation for Nancy and the incredible support she provides the Bedford County School of Practical Nursing. I've had the pleasure of working closely with Nancy while coordinating our students' clinical rotations at WCL. She is phenomenal. I truly appreciate the partnership we have with WCL, and so much that is because of her. She's an absolute pleasure to work with in coordinating clinical schedules, working through last-minute changes, or simply asking her a question. She is always quick to respond. She has an incredible ability to make things happen while making everyone feel special throughout the process. Her kindness, organization, and dedication should never go unnoticed. She treats her students and faculty as though they are part of her own team, and that speaks volume about the type of leadership and the professional she is. I know that whenever I reach out, I can count on Nancy for honest communication, thoughtful solutions, and unwavering support. Nancy, Nancy, come on up. We have Alex back here. Got Alex there. All right. Alex Hotard, I am pleased to recommend Alex for recognition and appreciation of his initiative, diligence, and commitment to WCL and the resident safety. While investigating an improperly delivered package, Alex recognized that it contained temperature-sensitive medication. Understanding the potential impact on a resident's health, Alex took immediate action to locate and deliver the package. Alex's careful attention to detail and his strong sense of responsibility prevented the possible loss or compromise of important medication. His actions demonstrated professionalism and dedication to protecting the well-being of others. Alex's willingness to go above and beyond his normal responsibilities exemplify the highest standards of excellence and reflects the credit on himself and all the WC employees. Thank you, Alex. Come on up. And for those that don't know, Alex works in building and grounds, and Nancy is our nurse education coordinator in nursing. So honorable mentions, I will not name every name. There's a bunch of individual nominations here on page 1 all across the campus, and also have honorable mention group nominations, whether it was for some Drinkard staff, nursing, environmental services, dining, building services team, and the EVS team as well. So a lot of people, and thank you for your nominations. Keep them coming. Congratulations.
Merry Christmas, everybody! Do you know Christmas is coming?
Yes.
Ah, good. I'm glad some of you know. Do you know Christmas is coming?
Yes.
Ah, an important time. Green? What is green about? Wow! Wow! $1,000 bill. Wow. Do you all realize that those were actually printed? Who's the president up there? Ah. They stopped printing them in 1945. They were circulated until 1969. How many of you have ever seen one? Ah, a few hands. Few hands have seen one. Amazing, isn't it? Now, why would I have a $1,000 bill up there? We need a lot of those this year, or the equivalent of them. It could be a check, it can be cash if you want to give us cash. $100 bills, quarters, pennies, nickels, and dimes, especially lots of pennies, nickels, and dimes and quarters down there in the box. It makes it fun to have to count all those. So we need a lot. You know, the cost of living has gone up, and our employees really need an excellent check this year. So let's work hard to get the equivalent of lots of thousands this year. Singers, come on.
I'm dreaming of a green Christmas, right by the fun to which we give, where our hearts are showing and cash is growing to those who attend us where we live. I'm dreaming of a green Christmas with special gifts to show we care. May green thanks fill the boxes everywhere, bringing joy to great employees that we share. Please join us and sing the song again. I'm dreaming of a green Christmas, brightened by the fun to which we give, where our hearts are showing and cash is flowing to those who attend us where we live. I'm dreaming of a green Christmas with special gifts to show we care. May green thanks fill the boxes everywhere, bringing joy to great employees that we share.
Okay, folks, don't forget, we want lots and lots of thousands. We want those stockings overflowing this year for our employees. So get those checks, get those dollars, get those pennies, nickels, dimes, well, some pennies maybe. And let's really come up with a great check this year for our employees. Thank you.
Hard to follow that group. And let's see, Employee Christmas Fund. And are you going to move the, oh. All right. This is our once-a-year chance to say more than just a simple thank you and a smile and that sort of thing for all of the WC employees. With no tipping or other gifting at WC, this is our only chance to express our appreciation in a real gift. Of course, your smiles are good all the time. We have the opportunity with the Employee Christmas Fund to say thank you and Merry Christmas along with a monetary gift. Last year, the fund received over $320,000. There were lots last year of those thousands that Sandy was talking about. We gave gifts to 360 team members last year. All full and part-time employees receive the gifts except for corporate officers and department heads. A number of years ago, Residents Council approved a suggested contribution amount of $2.50 a resident per day. And you might wonder how much is $2.50 a day. And that translates into $912.50 a year per resident, or $76 a month per resident. And if you think about what those dollars compare to how much you used to pay for tipping in restaurants, service workers, housekeepers, people who took care of your property before you moved here, the dollars that you see up there for an individual person, that's really a bargain. So, as Sandy said, we need those gifts coming in. As you have heard before, all the gifts are voluntary and it is completely confidential, both what you give and what individual employees receive. Only you can decide how much is the appropriate amount for your budget, your situation, but do what you can. This contribution is not tax deductible, something that you do need to keep in mind. If you are making a check, make it payable to Westminster Canterbury Residents Association and put in the memo on the lower left of the check, put it for Christmas fund. The collection boxes probably are already out in the main lobby and in the Riverside lobby, and one is going to be placed right outside of the wood dining room entrance. Another thing that you can do, as has been pointed out before, is if you wanted to, you can fill out a form with accounting, and they will add the amount that you designate on your monthly bill. If you don't want to deal with this all at one time, or if you want to supplement what you've already given through a monthly gift, you can give a check or raise the amount that you're giving through accounting. The automatic contributions through accounting typically start in December, but they may be started at any time and adjusted at any time that you fill out a new form. So let's see. You don't need to fill out a new form for accounting unless you want to change the amount that you are wanting to contribute. We would like all contributions by Sunday, November the 29th, which doesn't sound like, it sounds like a long time away, but time gets away. So think about it, do what you can soon, so that there's time enough between the end of November and when the Christmas party will be on December the 9th. Supervisors will give out the checks before the Christmas party, which will be on December the 9th. And there are never enough words to thank you for your generosity. To our always reliable, cheerful, thoughtful, and creative employees. And as you learned through listening to what Sean talk about, the catch me at your best, you know what these people do for us, and there is just no way to thank them enough. Although, please say thank you in person. I'm sure it doesn't hurt. And here is the committee, the Carolyn Harold Secord, Margaret Mundy, Ann Robinson, and Sandy, and we are ever so grateful. So thank you.
What I want to talk to you about today is a couple of things that are coming up, and I'll be brief on this. And this is the schedule of upcoming events. Nomination of Residence Council membership to be a member of the Residence Council begins on September the 15th and runs through October the 15th. We are looking, if you consider yourself and you have a desire to serve and you consider yourself a good listener, communicator, or problem solver, we want you to please submit an application to serve. It's a form that will be available in the coming weeks down on the activities bulletin board, and put that into the resident council mailbox or into Bill Hobbs' mailbox, which is R502, and that information will be on the form itself. The Residence Committee interest survey is coming up on September the 29th. That's a month from now. That would be at the next confab. That document will be put into your box. Each of you will receive one of these, and we want you to turn that around, circle it, enter on there which of the committees you're interested in serving on in 2027. That information will be compiled and given to committee chairs, and the selection will be made, and you'll be notified if you were selected, or if you were not selected, you'll also be notified of that. But we want you to use that opportunity. If you are, there are two of you in your household and you each want to serve on different committees, there's information on the form for you to do that as to which individual wants to be on which committee. And there'll be a special box in the lobby identified as the form for the survey to be returned in. During the Residents Association meeting, we talked about CPR training, and approximately a dozen to 15 of you raised your hand saying you were interested in that. The class has been set up. Forms will be available for you to sign up for this. There is a cost associated with that of $85 per individual. And the class will be held Wednesday, September the 30th. This is for CPR, Heimlich, and there'll be some basic first aid given in that same course. And the last thing goes back to the nomination for Residence Council. This is the annual meeting, not to be confused with the meeting we had last month of the Residents Association. This is to be held on December the 1st, the first Tuesday of the month. Happens to be December the 1st this year. Meeting will be at 10 o'clock. There will be in very much the same format as the Residents Association meeting we held in August, in July 28th, where there will be committees making presentations. The 6 committees that didn't present last time will make a presentation. There'll be administration report, and then there'll be a brief break in the meeting, and you'll go out and there'll be a ballot. You'll go to the ballot box, and you'll vote for 3 of 6 nominees. Those 6 nominees will be identified approximately 2 weeks prior, after everyone has submitted their application to be a nominee. There's a membership committee which is made up of the 3 members of Residence Council that are retiring, plus 2 independent living residents. We call them residents at large. They're not members of the council. That group will narrow down the number of people who entered their desire to serve to 6, and those 6 individuals will be identified. Their bios or some information about them will be posted outside the library 2 weeks prior to election. Are there any questions? Well, we look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm also dreaming of a green Christmas, one without snowfall. All right, we'll start with a main kitchen renovation update. So some preliminary work began the week of 7/27 down in the wellness area. Moore's team installed new drain lines in the ceiling and had to reroute some ductwork in that area to accommodate for those lines. Grease interceptor, you've heard some talk about that. That work began the week of 8/3 out at the Riverside Service entrance, and I've got some pictures to share with you in a minute. The mobile kitchen and freezers are delivered on 8/12. We began setting that up, and the main kitchen shutdown was 8/17. First couple days of that was just removing equipment and such, and then the demolition started last Wednesday. And we'll look at some pictures here. Scoot around so I can see. The picture on your left and right, that's outside of the roll-up door on the Riverside Service entrance. They had to saw cut some concrete there and then began excavating. Had to dig a hole about 8.5, 9 foot deep to accommodate the grease interceptor. So the picture on your right, you'll see the interceptor going into the ground. You can tell how deep the hole is there. You also see the bucket is removed off the excavator. That's what I was paying attention to anyway. That bucket alone is over a ton, and the grease interceptor weighs about 17,000 pounds. So I was wondering why they had such a large piece of equipment there to set that, but I quickly learned why. Next slide. Picture on your left is some backfilling with some gravel so it will not settle, and also making plumbing connections. And then on the right, you'll see the finished product there with the manholes installed and finished concrete. Mobile kitchen and mobile reefer trailer out on the Riverside Service entrance as well. On your right, you'll see Rick and Johnny making connections, power connections to the pole that AEP provided, just temporary service there. You see a neat little umbrella there. It's a magnetic umbrella that Rick put up to keep the sun off of his head. Those guys did a lot of work out there. Let's see, next slide, please. So on your left, that's Larry and Rob underneath the mobile kitchen making plumbing connections to those big black tanks are called gray water tanks. So all of the water that comes out of the dish machine that's in the kitchen and the sinks, they're 250 gallon apiece. Isn't that right, Keith? And they have to be pumped out. We're finding 2 to 3 times a week. Yep. To the right, I just opened the door and took a quick snap inside. You can see it's a full kitchen in there. Tight quarters, but they're getting it done. So that is before, obviously, we started upstairs. That's to your right, that's the dish room area. To the left, that's the cooking line and kind of the main kitchen area. And that was, the picture on your right, I took that Friday before I left. You can see the ceiling tile has been removed, most of the walls, the tile off the walls, and demolition should be done today. And the mechanical team, plumbing, electricians, they'll be working the rest of the week, relocating drain lines, replacing electrical panels, and they're making a lot of noise over there right now, so I apologize for that. Last slide, just another picture there, some bare studs. We're finding that some of the studs will need to be replaced, insulation and such. So the guys are rolling along. Jamerson Lewis utilizes a demolition crew where that's all they do, so they're pretty good at it, and it's probably at least 10 of them up there. So. Other work and projects we've got going on. So probably the first week of October, we plan to start on 6 Hearthside. We're going to start with renovating the rooms first up there, resident rooms at the very end of the hall, and do 2 at a time until we get to the end. And then we will be making upgrades in the hallway area, day room as well. JCI was here doing fire alarm testing in the Brookhaven and Woods Edge buildings on 7/29 and 7/30. And a capital project that we had planned, we were replacing some fire panels in Riverside building from the 3rd floor down, because obviously everything above that is new. A lot of traffic, a lot going on. And speaking of traffic and a lot going on, out on the Riverside service entrance, so with the trailers, storage trailers, kitchen, the mobile freezer, the dumpster, deliveries, construction workers, a lot going on. Please avoid the area. We hate to see somebody get hurt out there. It's a lot of things to trip on. So please, if you can find an alternative route, please do so. Any questions? Yes, sir. It stays there until we pump it out. Correct. Yes, sir. The question is the status on the fountain outside of the pool area. So I believe the plate on that fountain is 2008. We've been babying the fountain for a number of years now. We're having some electrical issues and the fountain is cracked. We are currently receiving bids to replace the fountain, or if you have any other suggestions, like not a water feature, we're open to that as well. But we're receiving quotes to get that replaced. I was thinking maybe a statue of Sean Hewitt or something. Any other questions? Have a good day.
Good morning. Matt's a hard act to follow. And that's where I'd like to be. Very nice. So our Wellness Resident of the Month, our Templeton Wellness Center and our Wellness Department, in September, we have both Linda and Paco Pinto Torres, and in October, Annette Slusher will be our Wellness Resident of the Month. So be sure and congratulate them when you see them. Their information will be in the newsletters and on our information board in the Wellness Center, as well as on the app, the resident app. In September, our programs, we're going to start off with our fitness assessments with the University of Lynchburg, which they always come once a year for that. If you've had fitness assessments with them before, I encourage you to do so you can compare the times, the years. With that, if you have not, I also encourage you to have a fitness assessment. It's really important to know where you stand with yourself and with your health. Women's Health Roundtable discussion series has gone really well, and our last one will be in September. And Dr. Heidi Bowden with Central Lynchburg Family Medicine will be here speaking on osteoporosis. And I know we say women's health, but men are always welcome to come to those programs as well. And we've been fortunate to have some come. So if you're interested, please do. With our wonderful World of Nature, we will go to Claytor Nature Center for a guided walk and tour, and we will have lunch at Liberty Station. And then we will also go to Quarry Gardens in September for a guided walk, and we will go to the Hamner House for a tour, which is the house that was based, the Waltons TV show was based on. So we will go there. In between the two, after the walk, we will have a picnic lunch at the quarry. And I do ask that you bring your own picnic lunch. We are not having boxed lunches at this time with all the renovations going on. So we're going to try something new and ask to bring your own picnic lunch. I will have snacks and drinks and stuff there as well. Our Virginia Parkinson's Conference in Roanoke is back again this year. For anyone interested in going, we will have a bus going, and you will see that information. And I encourage you to sign up to ride the bus to go to that conference. And we will also have our Walk to End Alzheimer's kickoff in September. And as you will see coming up in October, our walk is on campus in October. We have the kickoff going on in September, and Lindsay from the Alzheimer's Association will be with us at the table also to answer any questions as far as registering for that walk. Even though it's on campus, we still register. So that we get our numbers up for the Alzheimer's Association and that type of thing to see all our walkers as well. And that is campus-wide. So healthcare, I've always get in touch with them to let them know the date as well. So they've been joining us the past few years, which is great. And then in October, our programs, we have Active Aging Week, October 5th through the 9th. And some of the things that we'll have going on that week is the Frontier Culture Museum. Susan and I are working together to do a tour there, going to Byers Street Bistro for lunch. Our walk to end Alzheimer's is on campus, as I said, in October. We have the Fall Fling at Falling Creek Park once again, and that's with games. There's a trail there to walk, but we will also take cornhole and have disc golf and that type of thing that morning, and then we will go to Liberty Station for lunch. Susan Carroll will bring her harp for meditation once again for a program in October, and we will also bring back the 3P Core Program series with Marco for 6 weeks in October, starting in October, and then that will finish up in November, excuse me. Our Soulmates Walks in September are Wayside Park with lunch at the Colonial Restaurant, and then we will also have Blackwater Creek Trail. In October is Peaks View Park, and we will also go to Chessie Trail with lunch at the Palms in Lexington. Our History Series lectures in September will be Photos of Lynchburg with Nancy Marion, and in October, Ghost of Lynchburg with Dr. Cliff and Dorothy Bundy Potter. The Parkinson's groups will continue to have their support group here at Westminster Canterbury the first Monday of the month, and each month, both September and October, and the YMCA's is the third Tuesday of the month. The University of Lynchburg will begin offering their Parkinson's exercise program through November 10th, beginning in September, It'll start in September, go through October, and finish up November 10th. And we will have a bus for that as well. Pedal pushers will have their bike excursions in September. They'll be going to Dick and Willie and Uptown Spur Trails in Martinsville, and lunches to be determined. And then October, they'll go to the Rivanna River Trail in Charlottesville with lunch at Burton's Grill. And I do want to thank Bill Booz. He's finding all of these good new locations. So we have quite a variety for our bike excursions, which is wonderful. Pickleball continues here on campus in September and October, and the sign-ups for both Learn and Play and Friday weekend games in the Wellness Studio continue. We are waiting to hear about the Hill City Sports Center, who bought out Crosswhite. They continue to do renovations on the courts there, so I'm waiting to hear when that finishes up to see if we can continue going over there to play once or twice a month as well. But we're just waiting on that. They're still working on that right now. Our wellness classes in October, I had mentioned the 3 core series starting. That will be on Fridays. One will be on a Thursday, and you will see that in the newsletters. That is in October, as well as our outside classes that we have at 8:30 a.m. out on the terrace. They will be coming inside for the cold months through the spring, beginning in October. See all wellness information in our monthly and weekly newsletters, Channel 970, Resident app, and the Typical Wellness Center Need to Know packet. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you. Have a good day.
Good morning. I'm going to make this relatively quick. You've heard me ask or present this before, and I'll present it again. We have a visitation team that visits residents across the way, and if that is something that might interest you, I would love to chat with you if you come see me or Annette Loschert. We have a wonderful team. We are currently almost full, though we can always take more. By full, I mean full coverage, not that we are at our capacity for visitors. So if you are interested, please come see me. And if you come see me, that is not you committing yet. It is simply you expressing interest and wanting to learn more. Now, I know that we will have one more confab before this happens, but since it happens just a few days after the September confab, I want to let you know that we will have our annual blessing of the animals, blessing of the pets, on Sunday, October 4th at 3 p.m. On the terrace patio right down below. Even if you do not have a pet but would like to come, it's a really short but really sweet time where we offer a few prayers, and I offer a blessing over each of the pets that are present, but also over all of God's creation, God's creatures there. I think that's all that I've got. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right.
Well, good morning. It's that time of year again. I know you've all been waiting for this. And it's been a long process. We started this back in March, completed it about the end of mid-July, and had the Finance Committee review it, and then it went up to the board, and it's being voted in. So let me give you some highlights of what we're going to be doing next year. Yeah, be a big help. That little glass plate confused me there. Okay, so the 2027 budget. So this year we budgeted for $40,249,000, and it's quite a large amount. Expenses are $39,376,000 into this budget. And we hope to have an excess of $583,000. Some of our ratios here, the operating ratio, and the lower the better on this ratio is 97.7 going into this budget. And the two ratios we compare ourselves against is the CCA 50th percentile and the Fitch. And as you can see, the budget is slightly better than those two. Operating margin, 5.0 is, and we want this going up. We're at 5.06 right now. 3.9 for the 50th CCAC, and the Fitch is 4.7. These two ratios are very important to me. Number one tells me that the entire organization is supporting itself, plus the residents and the debt, and the interest expense for the bonds, but not the principal. The principal is not included in that number. The net operating margin, we carve out everything that's not related to the residents, and it shows that the residents have a slight surplus, which is very important. For many years, we run with a negative number, greater than 100 number, which is means that we were using entrance fees to subsidize the operation. After many, many, many years, we were able to turn this around, and now hopefully we'll maintain this going forward. But unfortunately, that has to have increases in your monthly fees to stay ahead of the curve. Net operating margin adjusted, this includes the entrance fees, is at 20 versus the CCA 24.3, 24.6. So we budgeted a certain amount of entrance fees, hoping that we'll get them. But most of the time, we get more than we anticipate, and operations are strong, which usually makes that go better than the CCAC or the Fitch. Debt service ratio, 2.1 versus 3.2 and 2.9, and that tells us that we're making the bank happy. Cushion ratio, this is how many times we can pay our debt in any given year. We can pay our debt 11.3 times with the cash reserves we have on hand. I also put together a cash flow summary, and the main difference between this budget includes generally the cash we need to run the operation, and we take out all the non-cash items like depreciation and amortization. But this is important because I need to make sure that the capital improvements are covered, and they're covered by the entrance fees, new money, new cash that comes into the business. So hopefully, when it's all said and done, cash increase will be $1,227,000. But that's not coming from entrance fees, that's generally coming from entrance fees and hopefully investment income. Ending cash and the cash equivalents, $38,748,000. Days cash on hand, 543. Debt service ratio again, 2.2. Includes entrance fees of a net of $6,200,000 and includes almost $4 million in capital improvements and expenses. So, drum roll. This budget includes a 3.25 increase in monthly fees. Okay? Revenues increased by $1,200,000 or 3.3, and that's courtesy of ILU, healthcare, and ALU fees, plus Westminster at Home and hospice. We can also include the outpatient therapy in there that's helping offset some of these increases. Expenses increased by $1.3 million or 3.5, and that was mainly the employee health care insurance, as you can imagine, and the health center and the payroll. We have a 2% increase in entrance fees, includes a 3% employee merit increase, and that doesn't go in at one time. It's on an anniversary date, so somebody's increase may happen in October, but many people's increases may happen in December or even September next year, so it's a weighted number. Payroll expenses increased by $633,000 budget to budget and added 3.84 FTEs. And they were in outpatient, hospice, EVS, B&G, and other miscellaneous areas. The budget also includes WCL's employer matching contribution of $422,752, which is contributions to the 403B. And that's very important because, as you remember, some of you may remember, but we froze our pension plan in 2012 and liquidated it in 2015, 16? Yes, somewhere in there. And employee group health insurance plan for fiscal 27 is budgeted at $1,000,009, and that's net of employee contributions that's deducted out of their paychecks. An increase of 5.7% or $102,000 based on a 6-year rolling average of employee health plan costs. And it's anybody's guess. Hopefully we'll be able to continue with our MERP program, which allows us to move a lot of high medical costs off the plan if necessary. But we always get caught by some prescription, because some of these prescriptions are very expensive per month, or we have an emergency where an employee needs to get open heart surgery or things. Home health and hospice budget to have a net income of $264,000 or 30% increase. And some of the things we have to deal with in this budget, and then we couldn't do this without you, the cohort, everybody here contributing to help this happen. And as you can see, the payroll in 2019 was $13,250,000. That's actual. And in actual 2025, it was $17 million. And so far this year in 26, when I did this, I was averaging $17,930,000, and we're probably going to come in around $18,311,000 for 26. And next year's payroll budget is $18,464,000. This is a busy, complex operation to run, and it's all because of you. Yeah. So, as a heads up, there will be a finance meeting on September 16th if anybody would like to attend. And I'll open the floor to questions. Has to be a question. Well, I'll take that as an okay. Thank you.
I don't have a lot to go over. As you can see, a lot of things going on that Matt, Keith, and team have put together with the kitchen. Just a lot goes into getting it ready and getting us to this point to get Jamerson Lewis in here to do that work, and I thank him for everything. Throw on top of that, Keith decided to hold the party last week. If I would have realized how much we were doing to get to this point, I would have probably advised him to have had the party a week before we shut it all down. But kudos to the team for putting on a really nice event. And thank you for everything that they will do going forward. Paul's presentation will, I think, be his last. It's probably the worst secret at Westminster that Paul plans to try to retire at the end of this year. He's been with us for 25 years, and I say try to retire. We are in the process of recruiting for Paul's position. We started out doing it ourselves, going through trade associations with our human resources, local state trade association, national trade association, putting out advertisements, interviewing people. We also now have engaged a recruiting firm that is doing a search as well, actively calling communities, asking CFOs, if they have interest, if they know people that would be interested, and have been having some interviews here over the last couple of weeks. But also even looking at a short conversation last week with Westminster Canterbury Winchester, just to say, is this a time where we would look at trying to combine some of our finance operations, and would we do something with some of the other Westminster Canterburys, and what would that look like? Over the years, I've been here 16 years now, we've had a lot of conversations. Could we have our investments pulled together? Could we have insurance, health insurance done together? Could we have therapy company? Could we do a lot of different things? And at the end of the day, those conversations sound really good when we're all at the table together, and when we drive home, nothing ever happens. So we are looking just to see whether or not that's an option as well. So we don't say goodbye to Paul today. He'll be here a while, and we actually have some money built in next year to make sure there's a lot of handover and change of information, because there's a lot of institutional knowledge with Paul, and we appreciate that. So just felt like, job, Paul. We've talked about it in resident council, and Paul, I got to finally talk about it sometime. Sorry. That is all I have. A lot of information before, and open. Are there any other questions for Sean? Any other questions right now? All right. Hope everyone has a good day. Thank you.